New Year's, everybody. Hit me up in the comments, in the chat, if I'm coming through loud and clear. Whereabouts are you, and what is the time where you are? It is actually the 1st of January 2025 here in New Zealand. So we had our New Year's celebrations last night. Nothing too crazy. I always used to play, of course, on New Year's, but not at the moment. And also, excuse me if you see me looking down and click-clacking away. I'm just trying to keep up with the chat. So, Happy New Year, Mike Cobb. Omar, it gets dangerous trying to shout out people's names because, yeah, it gets dangerous. But Happy New Year, everybody, and glad to have you on this live video. There's a couple of topics that I'd like to bring up. I mean, obviously, notably, what was your favorite drumming video of the year? Is there anything that stands out? Is there any feedback you've got for me? Christopher Shapir, 2 p.m. at New Year's Eve for me. Whereabouts are you, Christopher? You have to remind me. Nashville, I think you were, weren't you? Joseph Blosive, Happy New Year. Yeah, it is already New Year here. It is 2025. Sun's out. It's hot here. It's summer in New Zealand. It's that whole summer thing when you wake up, well, today at about 8 a.m. and it's already hot and you're just like in bed sweating. That's what she said, but gets a bit uncomfortable. That's what she also, it's too early for that nonsense. Noon here, Portland, Oregon. It's hard for me to keep track of the states. Such a big country and 3 time zones, I believe. So it's always interesting to me how that all works. I think it's always worth mentioning, and anyone who's watching this, you're probably not the target audience for this type of comment, but 2025 is going to be the year. I do encourage you to subscribe. If you're not, it just helps me in every way possible to push things forward. I've got so many things I want to do on the channel this year, and the more, I guess, support I've got from viewers, subscribers, it's going to help. I want to get back into having, high-profile guests on the channel for interviews and all sorts of things. Bad news at the moment is I'm about to sneeze. And we all know how awkward that gets when someone's about to sneeze, but they can't sneeze. Joseph Bloser, this is the year of Judas Priest for you. Thank you for letting me know. Christopher Shapir, you could visit Nashville in your flying car from the future. Oh, is there 4 time zones in the States? Damn. Okay. I thought it was 3. Yep, hit me up in the comments if you do have a highlight from the year, drumming-wise, or if there's anything that I do need to check out. Omar Cortez, hi, Mr. Willis. Yippee-ki-yay, Omar. Yeah, I guess a brief outline of what I was hoping for today was, most important thing is just to say hello, I'm here, we're live. Any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. Hit me up with any of your highlights, if anything really stands out for you. Also, if you are watching this, if you're one of these people who lurks, there seems to be somewhere in the vicinity of 1 million of you. 1 million lurkers. 1 million people who regularly view the channel but don't subscribe. You've got no idea what that would do for the channel, how much it would improve it. And it's not really a self-serving thing. It's actually, it will benefit everybody in the long run because I'll be able to bring you better and better stuff with more resources. So yeah, get on there, subscribe, get involved. The chat is subscriber only. So if you're wondering, hey, why can't I comment? It's because you're not subscribed. And that is just to keep some of the riffraff out. Wonderful, festive themed Iron Maiden shirt. Sent to me by one of my lovely subscribers and supporters who prefers to remain nameless. 6 time zones in the US. Hawaii and Alaska. That's insane. 6 time zones. Good grief. All right. I will try and keep up with the chat as best I can. I do realize there's nothing more annoying and boring than someone who's like, hey, make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. But yeah, it is. There's a reason, I guess, why people do say that. Because you start to see that it's going to improve the channel. And then if it improves the channel, the people who already watch it or who are watching it are going to enjoy it more. And it's, yeah, I'll leave it there. I do appreciate everybody who has bothered to join in on the chat. Pretty bad live video if no one does want to be involved. Any more Bruce Willis mentions here? Let's have a look. John Crocker, the drummer from the Drum Clinic that did the cover of the Led Zeppelin song before he heard the drum parts, was phenomenal. Yes, you're referring to 66 Samus. Yeah, that was amazing. I think DRUMEO have nailed it again with that whole concept of drummer hears a song for the first time. That's just that really worked. And it's always intriguing. And I'm always amazed at how good those performances are. It really does go to show, okay, that's why that drummer is where they are. And that's how good they are. Church of the Holy Mo, Happy New Year. Hoping 2025 brings much fortune and many successes. I'm pretty excited about 2025. I really am. I probably do say that every year, but I like to make a bit of a take a bit of an inventory around this time, and it's not just because the date change. It's because I'm off work, I'm off teaching. You guys will obviously probably be the same, or a lot of you. I think around about 50% of people do try and make some type of New Year's resolution, or looking to make an improvement or do something better in their life. It could even be just a holiday or more time with the family, or this is the year where I get rid of that horrible job that I don't like. And yep, I do that, and it's a good relaxing time. You don't have the rush, obviously, right? So you can reflect on things a bit. You're feeling a little bit festive. You've eaten a lot of ham and turkey. You're seeing your family. You're catching up. What did you do this year? Okay. Mike Cobb, I have a question. I was just rewatching some of your Neil Peart videos, and a couple of times you remarked at how good his intonation was. What is intonation on drums? I know what it means on the bass. Oh, okay, you're a bass player, but not in the drum context. Intonation is, I guess, it's note placement for us on drums. How well your drum kit is dialed in, the actual sounds you've tuned for and you're accessing in the moment, and how accurate things are. So, I mean, Neil Peart for me, he's a very accurate drummer, much like Gavin Harrison would be another example of a drummer who's recently been on the channel a bit. A lot of clarity and intonation. Think for me, for drums, clarity and intonation are interchangeable. Just very clear voices, clear speaking on the instrument. A guy who's popped up recently, who's been on DRUMEO, Steve Jordan. Now, Steve Jordan's one of my favorite drummers in the world. He would be a guy who I don't notice that. With drums, there's a lot of gray area. But Steve Jordan, if you haven't watched Steve Jordan, check him out. They just featured a video of him playing Pina Colada, the Pina Colada song by whoever does the Pina Colada song. It turns out Steve Jordan was the drummer in it. I've reshared it on my Instagram because it was just phenomenal. But what you'll see is someone who I probably wouldn't mention the intonation, because he's a bit more groovy. I hesitate to use the word sloppy because that sounds like a bad term. A bit more grease, a bit more Bonham grease in there. Whereas guys like Neil Peart, Gavin, they're very on the money intonation. Hopefully that helps. Put me on the spot there, Mike. Lemmy's Mole. Sup, Andrew? Happy New Year. Oh, Lemmy's Mole. I love it. What else we got? Rupert Holmes. Thank you. Rupert Holmes. Good example. Pina Colada song by Cannibal Corpse. I love it. So organic sounding. Yeah. Organic sounding. So someone like Steve Jordan, he's just a groove meister. And you just sit there going, how does it sound that good? I don't understand how it can sound that good. It's like a big, amazing mess in a way. You know what? I've been asking you guys for your drumming highlights of the year. Here's a couple of mine that might surprise you. I mean, I'm a groove guy from way back. I love good groove. And that is one video I would ask you to check out. Now, it might leave you completely cold. You might watch that Pina Colada clip of Steve Jordan, which you can see on my Instagram. Follow or don't follow my Instagram, I don't mind. Subscribe on YouTube, though. And watch and see what you think. I'm amazed at how good he is. And that's why he's one of the most successful session drummers of all time. He makes music feel good. It's probably a really good one, because I imagine there'll be a lot of people who are watching this video who hate that song. And probably the reason you hate it is because you've heard it so much. And the reason you've heard it so much is because it's a big song. So then you start to sort of reverse engineer that and go, well, why is it a big song? And then why did they get Steve Jordan to play on it, as a session player? And then you start to, and then you see him play it and you go, okay, I could take or leave the song. I personally love it, but I could take or leave the song, but the drumming's just so good. Jason, there's something to be said about an awing feel. I think I know what you mean there. Joseph B, iconic guitar fill. Yeah, I haven't thought about the guitar fills. When it sort of stops and then that anacrusis vocal back into the... Yeah. Evan Francis, I think Matt Halpern is a great groove master. Yeah. I mean, there are some monster players around now. The level of chops, I said that like a real Kiwi, didn't I? The level of chops these days is frightening. Absolutely frightening. Brendan Barnwell, not going to lie, I don't know what the Pina Colada song is. You will know it. It's a cheesy 70s, 80s pop song with a very lazy it's a displaced kind of reggae kind of thing. And check it out. honestly, just go along. I'm not trying to get you to follow my Instagram, but if you do want to, go to DRUMEO's Instagram. I don't know if it's on YouTube yet. Go along to my Instagram or DRUMEO. Have a look. Just have a look, see what you think. It'll probably be the first video there. Child of Zoso. What are your thoughts on Jay Bellarose? I don't have any thoughts on Jay. I don't know who that is, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. I don't know who that is. I'll just leave it there. Prosecco? Hey, Andrew. Hey, all. Just stopping by to thank you for your interesting content and, of course, to wish everyone a healthy, happy, and prosperous new year. Cheers from Bavaria. Welcome. And thank you. Joseph. Who's your favorite extreme/metal drummer nowadays, or are they all the same to you, more or less? Damn it, Joseph, you have hit on one of my highlights of the year. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that I know everything about metal drumming, or that I'm practicing metal drumming, or that, I'm an expert on metal drumming. One of my highlights of 2024 was going and seeing Ulcerate with my homie Jamie St. Marat on drums. I know a lot of people out there are big fans of Jamie, and I'm really happy to call him a friend these days. And I didn't interview with him years ago. Now that would have been probably 6 years ago. We just got on like a house on fire, and then we did another interview following that, which was awesome again. And then I reached out and said, hey man, I want to come and see your show. And a couple of my friends who are in the metal scene locally, they were like, bro, Ulcerate for your first proper metal show, it's pretty full on, man. And I was like, no, I want to do it. I want to go and see it. And I was a little bit nervous, I guess. When I think about it, maybe I was nervous that I wasn't going to enjoy it, right? I loved it. Even like just musically, and from the musical perspective and the drumming perspective, it was absolutely phenomenal, and not what I was expecting in terms of his playing. It wasn't a lot of blast beats and just fast, relentless, fast playing. It was a lot more to it than that. And so yeah, answer your original question. I'm gonna say my homie, my friend Jamie St. Marat. Daniel Santiago, nice t-shirt. Thank you so much. Can you see the whole thing there? This was sent by a subscriber. Beautiful t-shirt. Church of the Holy Mo to stir up controversy. I've considered the Pina Colada song to be yacht rock. Yeah, I'll take that. Hey, I've got a whole yacht rock playlist on my phone. Lemmy's Mole, best YouTube handle of the year, Lemmy's Mole. You're aware of Cuzzy Pal's orchestral drum solos, 633 Squadron 1812 Overture. I think I've done the 1812 Overture. I can't remember. I have to look through search for that if I've done it. Child is also look up Jay Bellarose. You may really like his drumming. I'm sure I will. It's very unique. He drums for Robert Plant. Okay. Filmy. Okay, this is where I got to be careful reading out people's names. I saw you reviewing my drum track. In your drum track? Exercises in Futility. Expand on that. Your drum track. Here we go. Now we get into the drum geeky stuff. Brendan Barnwell, what's your favorite up-down configuration for toms? Hey, I went to jazz school, so this is probably not going to be any surprise to you. One up, one down. Done. I've done theatre runs, all sorts of things where the book often called for more toms. I'm one up, one down. That's just the way I roll. Look at me thinking I'm like some kind of rebel. It's just the way I roll, man. One up, one down. Hold on. Stoikov. One thing. Why you stopped comments of Alice Depario? Do you mean I've stopped allowing people to comment? Why you stopped? I have to clarify that. I'm not sure what that means. Bumwell, I knew you were going to say one up, one down. It's just easy, man. There's probably a lot of things you guys don't know about me. So you probably think of me as YouTube guy. I mean, I'm a drummer. So I've played literally thousands of gigs. For example, 2006, 2007, when I was in my second year of music school, I logged my gigs in my diary, right? And I was gigging a lot. And this is just in my second year of music school. On top of studying, when I went back and I went through and counted how many gigs I had done in that year, it was 250. 250 gigs. Now, you might say, okay, that's a lot, which it is, I guess, for anybody. But that's not me in a touring band where the roadie is setting up my kit and I play for an hour and go home. That's 250 setups. Drive to the gig, set up all the malarkey that goes on before a gig, play the gig, which for a jazz gig or a covers gig was normally 3-hour gig, 3 hours. Play that, then pack down, then go home. 250 times in 1 year. How have I gotten on to this? Oh, okay, we talked about the one up, one down, my personal preference. When you play that much, you soon begin to realize you don't need a big drum kit. No one in the crowd cares. I mean, other than that one guy who's like, hey bro, I've got some floor toms at home, man. Do you want me to bring some over? You don't have many drums. But you don't want to be setting up much stuff. And you're rushing around. You get home at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You've got a car full of drums. Do you want to be leaving that drum kit in the car? No. I mean, that's not going to end well. That's just Russian roulette with your drum kit. So what you've done is you've taken your drum kit out of your house. You've loaded it into your car. You've done a 3-hour gig. You're packing up, typically at 12 or 1 a.m. in the morning. Then you load that back into your car. You take it home. Then you load everything out of your car back into your house. Then the next day, you load same thing. You don't want much stuff. Believe me, I got to the point, and you're probably not even going to believe this. I got to the point of gigging with no toms. No toms. I did covers gigs with no crash. Here I am doing a 3-hour covers gig with a kick, snare, hi-hats, and a tambourine. Anyway, let's get back to the comments. I'm getting fired up. Brendan Barlow, you're firing me up. And that's what she said, man. Okay. Yeah, I'm a bit intrigued with this comment, why you stopped comments of Alice Depario. Let me know. If there is a video where the comments have been stopped, let me know. That shouldn't have happened. Okay, what else we got? How snug is your bottom snare head? Very snug. Tabletop tight. That's how tight your bottom snare head should be. I have started liking using the TuneBot tuning device, but I always find that my bottom snare head goes higher than the accurate measurements on the TuneBot, you know, past the 400 hertz area. So that gives you an idea of how tight it is. Okay, Patrick, react to Steve Jansen playing Still Life in Mobile Homes. Still Life in Mobile Homes, that's a good title. Lemmy's Mole, I spent 10 years on the road selling official merch. For who? Box of 100 t-shirts was the heaviest thing I had to carry. Oh, Christopher Shapiro. One time Neil Peart played with no toms and he played Sawyer. Okay. Joseph, very cool. Ulcerator's great. I got you to react initially to Kalia some years ago. I need to request again soon. Some bands you need to check out. I bet. There's always someone to check out. And that is one of the frustrating comments I get, is that, okay, if we're going to be doing New Year's Eve, it's New Year's Day here now. If we're going to be doing New Year's pet peeves, which I don't think anyone's asked for, but I'll go ahead and do it anyway, it's those type of comments where, what do you mean you've never heard blah, blah, blah? You're not a real drum teacher. You haven't heard this. You can't, you're lying. You have heard this before. It's like, I don't know. I've never understood that comment, because it sort of like insinuates that the person who's commenting has heard everything. It's such a bizarre comment to me. Does that kind of comment freak you guys out? Oh, there's no way he hasn't heard that. Yes, way he hasn't heard that. I haven't heard lots of things, just like you haven't heard lots of things. Getting angry again. It's going to take a breather. Yeah, we've got some really interesting comments here now, actually, about the sort of setup of the kit. Great stuff. This is how I know this person is legit. Joseph B. I teach piano and guitar, excuse me, and my students are how I hear new music. 100%. 100%. Almost daily. So that's one of the, I guess, accusations, I guess you could say, that gets leveled at me is, there's no way you haven't heard this. How have you not heard this? Everybody's heard this. And it's like, do you realize I'm teaching like 10 different songs a day to people? And trust me, you won't have heard of any of them, especially with the younger students. Now, in saying that, a lot of younger students do go for older stuff, which is quite heartwarming in a way, when you get like a young girl come in and she wants to learn the Beatles, or you get a young fella who comes in and he wants to learn Queen. It's like, wow. Often that can be parent driven, obviously, you know, they might have been hearing it around the house. But it goes completely the other way as well, where they want to learn the latest reggaeton song, or the latest meme, or TikTok song. Actually, TikTok's sort of reinforced that yacht rock revival. A lot of yacht rock type songs. And I think a lot of the reason why these songs are regaining notoriety is because they're actually really good songs. All the yacht rock stuff, I don't know if yacht rock's a derogatory term for those amazing musicians, but a lot of that yacht rock stuff was guys like Toto or the session players of the day. The playing is beyond good. It's as good as you can get. Anyway, what do we got here? Bradley Davis, how's it going, Mr. Rooney? It's going good. It's going good. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you, everybody, for subscribing. I know that everybody who's commenting here is subscribed, so I do thank you for that. I had a bit of a moan at the start of this video that only, is it 10 or 11% of people who watch my channel are subscribed. And it's a shame because I've got so many big things planned for this year. I can't reveal too much, but there's a lot of opportunities on the table at the moment. And it's just so exciting where this could go. And it's only going to get there with more support. And that compounds. And yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there. Let's leave it there. Okay. Just trying to catch up here. Child of Zosso, Boz Scaggs, Lowdown, great yacht rock song. Absolutely. Lowdown features my favorite drummer of all time, bar none, Jeff Porcaro. In fact, that song is Toto with Boz Scaggs singing. It's the entire band. If you're a fan of that kind of world, which I'm obsessed with, check out my interview with Steve Porcaro, keyboardist in Toto. We get into a lot of that stuff. Lemmy's Mold, 10cc Yacht Rock, question mark, don't care, first band I saw. Yeah, I'm not worried about the Yacht Rock title. I'll roll with it. I love those bands. Love those bands. That's the sort of stuff I would be putting on around the house, to be fair. Bradley Davis, can't understand why people wouldn't follow. Your content is awesome. Thank you so much. Look, I don't blame anyone, and yeah, I mean, it's obviously it's a free will, man. You don't have to subscribe, but yeah, it's hard being on this side. That's what she said. It's hard being on this side of the mic, especially trying to explain to people who don't upload to YouTube, because once you're on this side of the mic and you see the back end of how things work, you see, oh my God, those are the opportunities I could have. Like 5% of those people who are watching all the time subscribed. Really? I'd be able to do that and that and that and that. And it's, oh God, come on, please help me out. So it is frustrating. That's why you see YouTubers, it looks like they're always begging for subscribers. It's not actually that. It's more the opportunity that they start to see. And it's so exciting. And you think, oh my God, you're watching anyway. Just subscribe. And it would be, yeah, it'll take it to the next level. But also, speaking of YouTube, I had lunch with someone the other day who was asking me about YouTube. Oh, how's YouTube going? All that kind of stuff. And he said something which sort of stopped me in my tracks a bit. He said, oh, yeah, because, you must be doing well because when people subscribe, that costs them money. Do you get paid when they subscribe? And I was thinking, what do you mean? It doesn't cost anything to subscribe. What? Oh, I thought you had to pay to subscribe. And it was like, are you not subscribed to any channels because you thought you had to pay? So there is a bit of, I guess you call it education there. That's free. Anyway, I got to get off this topic. It's like front and center of my brain and my mind at the moment because it's New Year's. I'm thinking ahead. I'm planning, and I'm like, man, if I hit that milestone, that would open up all this. And so sorry for unloading that on you, especially people who are commenting because you are subscribed. Okay, calm down. Adrian De La Torre, former guitar teacher here, but yeah, younger students, Gen Z and beyond, asking to learn old music or even stuff from the 90s is great. It is nice. Well, Adrian, as a guitar teacher, the 90s is kind of where guitar music ended, right? Not ended in that way that no one enjoys it anymore, but in terms of mainstream sort of radio play, big bands, guitar-based, that for me, let's call it 99, that's sort of it. We had the whole boy band, girl band thing, and then pop just blew up. And digital. We started getting the home production thing kicking off. And you didn't need to play an instrument to produce music. Big shift. This is a big topic that we might have to leave for another day, but yeah, it all changed. I look back on some of that 90s guitar-driven music now that I didn't like at the time, and I'm like, man, this is good. This is good stuff. There's actual guitar playing, there's bass playing, there's real drums, there's a real voice. Oh my God. Don't get me fired up on the whole voice thing. Do you remember when people used to sing? Do you guys out there remember when people used to actually sing, like with their voice? Auto-tune's got a lot to answer for, I tell you. Me, Middle Mike, have you checked out the 1975 No Quarter instrumental jam session that John Bonham did with Led Zeppelin? It's on YouTube. I don't think so. All right. Mike Tarayo. Subscribe right after you posted your first Sabbath vid. Have tried to catch all of them since then. Thank you so much for your support. Eric B, did you watch the DRUMEO Phil Collins video? Broke my heart a bit. Someone else has mentioned that to me, a good friend, and said it was, they kind of like tearing up a bit. I haven't seen it. This also might shock you, just bringing back the curtain a little bit on the channel and coming back to sort of one of the criticisms of, there's no way he hasn't seen that. He's a drum teacher. Of course he's seen that. I don't watch a lot of stuff outside of what I'm watching for the channel and or learning, the songs for students and stuff. I don't have time. And, you do need also a bit of family time. And, I try to watch something with my wife every now and then. So it doesn't actually leave a lot of time to just generally watch drum stuff. Chad Johnson, I saw that someone posted a Brand X video on YouTube. Okay, that was Phil Collins' Fusion group, wasn't it? I'll have to check that out. Joseph, did they not know how YouTube works? It's been around so long. You'd be surprised, man. But yeah, that one surprised me. Sort of not wanting to subscribe because they didn't want to pay for the subscribing. You don't pay. It's free. It's just a little thank you. It's a little pick me up for the channel. Brandy Davis, nah, bro, we support you. We are here for it. Speak the truth. Oh, you might be referring to my rant about the lack of music in music these days, or the auto-tune rant. Let me know what you're what you're here for, man. That's not coming from a place of hate, or I don't think there's a place for it, or anything like that. It's just, I think it's a shame. And I'm old school. I do want to go to a concert and hear live playing. I'm not a dinosaur. I'm not stuck in my ways. I've played hundreds, if not thousands of shows with click tracks and back-end stuff. It's fine. I get it. I totally get it. I know why it's there. It does sound fuller. It does sound better. But also, I like to hear the raw music from what's happening on the stage. That's why grunge was so good. From my era, growing up with grunge, it was a bit rough around the edges. It was if someone was if the singer had had a hard night the night before, you could hear it. And you could hear it because they're actually singing. They're not miming. All right. Yeah, you got to watch what I say here. Me Metal Mike, Ringo Starr or Charlie Watts? Who drove the band more? Ringo Starr. Hit me with your hate and vitriol in the comments. This is a very good point here. Now we are getting interesting. Joseph B. Solos ended in mainstream in the 90s. Agree. Solos. I said before, do you remember when people used to sing? And in terms of it was a voice. What you're hearing was a human voice, not a computer, where they're fixing all the notes. You're absolutely right. Solos. At the New Year's thing that we were at last night, we put on a playlist, and it was an older song sort of playlist. You notice the length of the songs, and there is a guitar solo. Oh my God, there's a guitar solo. There's a sax solo in the song, or there's a keyboard solo. You know, you listen to Africa, which for the band was a bit of a throwaway song at the time. Check out my interview with Steve Piccari. He'll openly say this. He'll say that we didn't even like the song. It was the last track on Toto 4. The band did not like Toto. The band did not like Toto. The band did not like Africa as a song. But even that has got like this huge keyboard solo, right? Oh, here, this is getting interesting here. I was getting fired up. I think you guys are getting fired up. I might have to tell you guys to calm down. Adrian De La Torre, let me know if I'm saying that right. I agree 100%, but Guitar Heroes fell off around that time. I miss rock being the mainstream. I think the other thing that has happened or had happened around the whole pop thing was the look was really important, right? Milli Vanilli being a huge example of it was all the look. They didn't actually sing at all, right? But then you carry that on into the whole boy band, girl band thing, and the look is really important for the main reason that we can fix everything else. You know, they're not playing instruments. We can fix the vocals. So now it's just, do they look good? Like, is the look appealing? So there was that whole thing too. I understand that's always been around, but I think it became crucial to the success of a song or an artist. What else we got here? Josh Paul, you rule. Thanks for the support, man. Lemmy's Mole, Britpop was the end of guitar rock. Oasis were the only survivors, pretty much. I was never into that whole Britpop, that 90s Britpop movement. Again, coming back to it now, some of it's pretty good. The Kooks, for example, I listen to them and go, man, that's genius. I like Arctic Monkeys. But yeah, I was never a big Blur fan. I was never a big Oasis fan, to be honest. Not saying they didn't have good songs, but it's just, I don't know. I was not the target audience for that kind of music. Mike Cobb, listen to Ella Fitzgerald if you want to hear somebody actually sing. Yeah. Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Now you go back and you listen. I wish I could dig out some of my music here. I'm a big fan of the old soul stuff. The Spinners, the Philly soul of the 70s, 80s. Spinners, Delphonics, Drifters and the Platters. I've got a real soft spot for that vocal performance soul type of world. Al Green, Lou Rawls. But yeah, you go back and you listen to that stuff now and you go, damn, that's amazing. Not only is it amazing, that's a vocal performance. performance. They're not singing, they are performing. If you want to know a song or hear a song that really highlights this point I'm trying to get across here, Solomon Burke, Cry to Me. Solomon Burke, song's called Cry to Me. Some of you will know that song, some of you won't. If you want to hear what I mean by vocal performance, put that song on. He's literally clipping the audio. He's singing so hard, and you can feel the power of the song. Check it out. Put on some good headphones, have a listen, comment, and say, yeah, I know what you mean. Let's catch up. Oh, Adrian, some bands sound even better live. Yep, that's true. Me, Metal Mike. Andrew, do people still talk all over New Zealand how great AC/DC was? Yeah, well, AC/DC was Australian though, right? But yeah, I agree. Phil Rudd. Oh my God. Skits NZ. Morning, brother, from the Hawke's Bay. Good morning. Yeah, if you are just catching up with this live video, it is 9:50 a.m. on New Year's Day here in Auckland, New Zealand, or here in New Zealand in general. So it is actually 2025, and we're bringing in the New Year's Day with this catch up as a excuse to catch up with you guys. I don't do a lot of live videos anymore. Let me know if you do want more live videos. I must confess, I always go on with a bit of a plan, but I just end up reading your comments and having a chat. It seems like the only thing to do, really. If people are going to bother to actually comment and interact, I feel like I need to reply. What do we got here? Eric B. Biggest factor in snare sound: snare width, depth, head style, head tuning. The single biggest factor in a snare sound or any drum sound or a whole drum kit sound is the person playing the drum. Now, that is not meant to be a smart ass answer. It's just the truth. So you could put Gavin Harrison on my kit, and my snare is going to sound like a completely different snare. Same kit, don't touch a thing. You put Dave Grohl on the kit. Now it sounds different again. And on and on and on. The most important thing is the investment in your own playing. Now, to answer your question, which is a great question in good faith, I think following that tuning, right? Player first, tuning second. Third, I would go head selection. So getting the appropriate heads to suit whatever you're going for. You know, if you're playing cafe jazz, you're probably going to be choosing different heads to someone who's playing in an arena, for example. Fourth, what do I have fourth? Player, tuning, head selection. Nothing else is really important for me beyond that. Yeah, somewhere distant down, I would have the actual drum, which for me is unimportant, but the actual drum is sort of that's the tool, right? That's the device to be able to do all that stuff. So yeah, limited. As long as the drum's not falling apart and detuning while you're playing it, it doesn't really matter to me. As long as the bearing edges are flat, it's round, which people are going to go, haha, is it round? Trust me, lots of drums are not round. And it makes them very hard to tune. It makes them very hard to actually seat the head on the drum properly. That goes for cheap drums and expensive drums. A lot of them are not properly round. and flat. So when you put the drum on a flat surface, is it actually flat? Those kind of things. The actual drum, what it's made of, whether it's wider or deeper or shallow. Yeah. Personally, you ask me, personally, I don't mind. I'll play anything. Right. The Mighty V. Happy New Year, Andrew. I hope yours isn't as rainy, windy, and cold as mine is here in Wellington. If you guys are not familiar, Wellington is the capital of New Zealand. It's about an 8-hour drive from where I am in Auckland. No, it is sunny. It is hot. There is not a cloud in the sky here, and it is, yeah, it's full on. What have we got here? What else? Chad Johnson, grunge bands killed the solo. Kurt Cobain only had a few strings. Damn, shots fired. Check out Rick Beato. He calls Kurt Cobain a guitar genius, one of the greatest guitarists of all time. His alternate take on Kurt Cobain. Bradley Davis. I guess I would be interested in hearing your take on someone who can no longer play live due to health reasons, but still actively writes music, even if it's all with a computer. Wow, that's a big one, because here I was apparently throwing shade at the lack of live playing and modern song recording. I mean, yeah, that's a big one. I don't know if you're talking about yourself or someone you know or whatever. There's more than one way to skin a cat, and whatever I give as a hot take, it's just whatever I'll feel in the moment, often driven by what I've seen or what could be like an unfortunate avenue perhaps that music has gone down. I actually do like a lot of electronic music. I do like a lot of stuff that is, for want of a better term, sort of bedroom producer type stuff. Plenty of that's good. Look, for me, if it's good, it's good. If it's not good, it's not good. Genre is just the label we attach to it. Good is good. You feel authenticity. Brendan Barnwell, chipping in. I would say mainly drum head and tuning, though shell material will change the character of the snare sound. Yeah, I don't even know if I'd go that far. They've blind tested drummers before on whether a drum is metal versus wood, for example. Is it maple versus birch? Because we all know the marketing terms. Birch is more focused and sharp. Maple's warmer. Put that to a blind test where you've tuned the top and the bottom head the same. The people struggle to hear it. Which something even more shocking is people struggle to hear whether it's a metal drum versus a wood drum. Now, a lot of people out there will be going, "What are you even talking about?" I know a metal drum when I hear it versus a wood drum. Clearly, that's what we think. That's what we think. In practice, under a test-controlled situation where it's a blind test, you might be surprised. Actually, this is a good topic for a video. Good topic for a video. Blind testing drums. A tune bot, top and the bottom head of a snare, and I say, right, was that maple? Was that birch? Was that plywood? Was it a custom 3,000-year-old piece of wood that got dragged out of a swamp in the backwoods of wherever? Or is it aluminium or aluminum, as you like to call it in the States? Is it steel? Is it brass? Is it titanium? Blind test. I don't think anyone's going to know. Anyway, that's a hot take. I'll leave that there before people start unsubscribing. But I'm actually really interested in that type of stuff, and myth busting, and being aware that I don't know everything. I also think I would know the difference. You know, I automatically think I will know the difference, but in reality, probably not. Okay. What do we got here? Supergrass. Okay, yeah. Supergrass, they're a great band. Eric B. Y'all are forgetting the mid-2000s indie run. A lot of guitar bands. What were the mid-2000s guitar bands? Hit me up. What am I missing there? Is that like the Gin Blossoms and that kind of world? Let me know. Mike, I keep getting this name wrong. I'll just go off Mike. Neil, I think you meant to say Neil Finn from Split Ends, said in an interview a while back that growing up in New Zealand was rough because the big popular bands rarely stopped in New Zealand while touring. Was that a thing? Yeah. We're a small country. We've got smaller venues, and we're also in the middle of nowhere in the South Pacific. It's expensive to get here. It takes a long time to get here. And when you do get here, you're not going to be able to do a lot of shows because we don't have the population for it, all the venues. So, yep, that's a thing. There has been a thing as well of acts coming to New Zealand, like a big act. Let's say like something like Taylor Swift at the moment. I think she was scheduled to come to New Zealand and had to pull out at the last minute because the conditions, like we couldn't actually meet the requirements for one of her gigs. It was something like that. That is a real thing. We're a little village. We're a little village floating around in the middle of the South Pacific. It's a commitment to get here. It's normally tagged onto like an Australian leg of a tour. So yeah, it's tough. If you're at that size where you need to be packing out stadiums to make it financially viable, it can be a tough place to come. Yeah, Neilfin, correction there. Right, what else we got? This is another comment. Joseph B. We need to catch up for a coffee, man. I have young students want to do Backstreet, I think you mean Backstreet Boys, or in sync melodies on piano. It struck me how prominent the real instruments were. Electric guitars and Britney Spears. Really does new pop use that? Really does new pop use guitar at all? Often there is no guitar part. That's just keyboard. Keyboard 1, keyboard 2, keyboard 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keyboard central. Synths and all sorts of stuff. But yeah, you're right. I'm shocked as well. Excuse me. I'm shocked. I'm shocked. Joseph, you're a guitar teacher. You teach piano and guitar. You would have gone through the whole bye 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 thing. 2024 was the year of bye 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 by NSYNC. I assume, I don't use TikTok, I assume it was a TikTok song or something. And you listen to it now and you go, oh, this actually got quite good singing in it. It's got a bass line. It's quite funky. There's little breaks. There's drum fills in a pop song. Drum fills, different ones. And you go, we probably complained about this at the time, but we didn't have it that bad. It's actually a pretty good song. I'm not the target audience for NSYNC, but it's a pretty good song. What else we got here? Do you guys have a favorite Judas Priest song or album? Not yet, but everything I've heard has been absolutely mind-blowing. Okay, 2024, one of the new bands for me on the channel was Judas Priest. Damn, those guys are freaking awesome. Okay, what else we got? I'm a little bit out of step with the chat. Whoa, I'm way out of step. Custom creator has chipped in with a donation. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I'm struggling to follow my own comment thread here. Hold on. If I've missed your comment, my apologies. Feel free to repost your comment if you want to. Brendan Barnwell, I'd like to see a video on that. I'm assuming you're talking about like a snare, like a shootout, like a comparison or blind test video. My opinion, aluminium and probably bell brass can sound pretty similar to wood with the warmth and fatness, particularly aluminium or aluminum. Sounds very woody. That's what she said. It's got a very woody character. That's what she said as well. I was just wanting to tell you that since I've talked to you and the channel was young, we've started doing Australian reactions and we are honorary Aussies. I had no idea you were a Kiwi. Really? Interesting. Well, okay, yeah, I'm way out of touch. Not way out of touch. I'm way out of sync with the comments. Eric Isaacson. Hello, it's Eric from Olympia, WA. Excuse me, excuse my ignorance. Is that Western Australia? Or WA, is that a state in the States? Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you, Eric. Right, okay, I'll try and get back up to speed. I'm a little bit out of sync now. I'm not going to read that one, Church of the Holy Mother. I've got nothing against Taylor Swift. And I got nothing against it. It's fine. Again, I'm not the target audience, and I understand that. Good on her. She's done really well. She seems to give a lot of money away to support, certain causes and stuff. Good on her. Good on her. Doesn't hurt me. She's done well. All right, what else we got here? I will be winding this up very shortly. I do appreciate everybody joining me for this catch up sort of, I guess. Yeah, it's just a catch up. It's just a way to connect a little bit differently with you guys. Let me know if you do find value in it, or you'd rather that I spend this time making more videos. I'm really excited for 2025. There are a few opportunities and new things on the table for me and for the channel in 2025, which is just so exciting. I hope that you out there and whatever you're doing, I hope you're excited for the year that's coming. That's all we can do, really, right? You have to be excited. And if you're not excited, if you're like, oh God, another year of it, then make a change. I'm not going to sit here and be Mr. Life Coach, because that's just cheese, melted cheese on cheese sandwich, and I'm not a life coach. But yeah, it should be exciting, right? It should be exciting. The whole year's ahead. Blank slate. We can create the year ahead. Yeah, I can't get into some of the things that are on the table, but it's just so exciting. And none of it would be happening, or none of even what's happening now would be happening without you guys. So don't ever think, when I do put the call out to subscribe and get those subscriber numbers up, that's not having a dig at anyone, especially not you guys. If you're commenting, you are subscribed, so thank you. But yeah, there's just so many cool things that can be could be happening. This is an interesting one. Brendan Barnwell, drum fills in a pop song. It's unfortunate how low the bar is. Do you mean by the lack of drum fills in modern pop, or what the fills are? I don't hear a lot of drum fills in modern pop because it's all electronic now, isn't it? Right. Most 80s pop seem to be about keeping the guitarist from rocking out. I don't know. Some of those guitarists were pretty slick, man. Hey, Andrew, you're already living in 2025. I am. You guys would have seen my Back to the Future meme that my wife did of me, Photoshop. Yeah, I am in the future, man. In my DeLorean. Oh, God. There's nothing worse than getting someone's name wrong. Prahash Jani, thank you so much for the contribution to the channel. And you've also put a comment here. Any thoughts on having that one feel with a jamming partner? I always feel this connection with my brother, a drummer. Yeah, that's another interesting topic that you can make a whole video on it. Sometimes, for whatever reason, two people just lock in feel-wise. And I don't know if you're meaning brother in the sense of like, yo, man, my brother, or actually this is literally my brother from the same mother. That can often happen with siblings because they just, I guess, spend so much time together. They know each other inside out. But that is a thing. Great players make it easy to play with them as well. If you play with a really experienced, like for me, for a drummer, if I play with a really experienced bass player, my job gets easier because I don't have to worry about them taking care of business. They're taking care of business. So I can relax, and because I'm relaxed, they're relaxed. If they're really experienced, they'll be used to playing with people who are not up to their level. And if they feel that I'm on the level and things are working, it's what do you call that? It's like a give and take thing that happens, which creates feel. Feel could be, you could replace that with empathy, with trust. There's a trust happening that when I'm doing my downbeat, you're doing your downbeat. And we're talking about millisecond differences. Here's my downbeat, here's yours. Now, if I'm playing with an inexperienced bassist, they might be here. And then when they're behind the beat, they might hear it. What do? They overcorrect. They speed up. Now they're way ahead. Then they've got to find it again. And all of this contributes to feel and groove. Big answer to your question, but yeah, it's a thing. And also, you know what? I'll add on to that. In saying that, sometimes I've played with really good musicians who have got big reputations as well, and people, be raving about them. Oh, this guy's so good, this girl's so good, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Often that can be a listening thing. You're not actually listening to what's happening on the stage or in the studio. You're too caught up in what you're doing, and you're not hearing how they're feeling it. So, yeah, there's different levels to the game. Oh, Bradley Davis, no offense or shade taken, sir. Was just curious on your opinions. Love this kind of interaction. And yes, I was referring to myself. I'm sorry to hear that. That, something has happened that has taken you out of like live performance. I do prog, metal, chip tunes. I don't know what chip tunes is, but that's amazing. The most important thing is that you're still in the game, you're still making music, and you're still passionate. That's great. That's great. Michael P, I'm still waiting to see you react to Matt Horn doing drums to Hounds of Anubis on his house? In his house. Okay. I don't know what any of that meant, but thank you for the comment. Joseph, you should be able to feed off each other's energy and ideas and energy. Yeah, agree. It's a really hard thing to pinpoint what that thing is. I guess we're referring to the pocket, right? The magical pocket zone. Yeah. And the thing is, when you feel it, when you've got it happening, you know it. Oh boy, you know it. And it's just so explosive and powerful because the whole room will start going crazy from the feel that you're creating. It's just such a powerful thing. And then speaking of that compounding effect between, for example, a bass player and a drummer, when the crowd starts going off, that adds again to the feel. And then you start getting adrenaline, and that's when experience can come in really handy, because once you start feeling adrenaline, 99.999 recurring percent of us will speed up. That's the human thing to do because you're excited. Speed up. That's what she said. And you don't want to speed up. You want to keep it in the pocket. All right. I don't know if you guys had a look today. I released a short of my top 5 videos. So that was literally the top 5 videos by the viewers of the channel. So have a look at it. It's a short video, just tiny little segment of the top 5. That's not my personal top 5 of the year. That is the top 5 most viewed videos on my channel for the year. Prahash Johnny again. Love your answer. Here's my little brother and a killer drummer. I'm a multi-instrumental guy. Love the channel. Keep it. Thank you so much. And that's really heartwarming, actually, that you're playing music with your little brother. What an amazing thing to do. What an amazing thing. You can't beat that. I'll go on record as saying you cannot beat that. Playing music with your sibling. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. It's just such a, it's a pretty wholesome activity, isn't it? You're connecting, you're speaking, you're communicating without speaking. That's amazing. Springy, thank you. Oh my God, very generous. Thank you so much for watching and contributing to the channel. I really appreciate it. Is there anybody's comment that I've missed here? Because that can happen as well. That can happen as well, where we get to the end of a video and, why didn't you read my comment? You read everybody else's, but not mine. And if that has happened, which it would have happened, let's face it, it would have happened. I'm sorry. I didn't miss it on purpose. I just realized I could do a love heart on these contributions to the chat. I'm going to go through and click a love heart. It's important to let you guys know that I love you. I appreciate you. We've got an amazing community here. It's in general very respectful. Look at what you guys really have created. This chat. Some of you guys are getting to know each other within the chat, and have done so over the past however many years as well. Become friends, It's amazing. All with that common love of music, that passion for music. You got to be passionate because you are in here commenting. Springy, peace, love, and hugs to everyone here. Happy New Year's, guys. Wherever you are in the world, whether it's New Year's Eve or not, I said before, it's New Year's Day here, but Happy New Year, guys. I really do hope it brings everything you want. Mike Cobb, channel highlight for me this year was the incredible effort you put into my Bonnie the Cat request. I was blown away that you charted it and played it. Way more than I ever expected. Thank you. Oh, look, it's a pleasure, firstly. I would be doing that on every video if I had the time. Now you are starting to get into why I hope the channel picks up. Mike, you've accidentally stumbled on it. When you hear me monotonously saying, please subscribe, it's so I can actually have more time to do things like that. As you said, Mike, I charted the song out, played a bit of it, and sort of broke it down. If the channel gets to a certain level, I mean, I'll be able to do that. I mean, assuming I can play it. Like multiple videos, they'll become like a feature of the channel. This is just an example of where this can go. I'm excited. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's slow. It's painful progress, but we want to get there. I want the channel to be better for you guys. So yeah, got to kick those people in the butt who are just lurking. Oh. Custom Creator OGT. You missed mine. Oh, chat, comment. Danny Lee OGT. Right. Danny Lee. Hello. And I'm sorry I missed your comment. Germany here. It's 10:18 p.m. Well, what are you up to in Germany? Are you partying or what's going on over there in your neck of the woods? I think I will have to leave it soon. Yep, I'm excited. 2025. It's going to be the one. It's going to be the one. We're going to take things to the next level. It's going to happen. It has to happen. I don't want to keep throwing out teasers because you never know what's going to happen in any given year, but it's exciting. What's on the horizon is exciting. And we're going to get there. That's a very frustrating way of framing things, but I can't say too much. Oh, Joey B. Texas, 3:20 p.m. Still early. Danny Lee, thank you, mate. Mike Cobb, something's gone wonky with the microphone, FYI. So the audio's gone a bit funny. I'll take that as my moment to leave anyway, because I probably should be getting on. But oh, what have we got here? Wolfram Reactor 74, my friend. What were Andrew Rooney's favorite videos? These like the way I said that. Rooney's favorite videos this year, not necessarily ones that got the most views. Yeah. So I mentioned when the Jamie St. Laurent Ulcerate when I went to the gig and hung out with Jamie. That one's special to me. I mean that's a video that didn't. I don't think that got a lot of views. It wasn't like a high production video or anything. You know, I'm not even saying it was a good video. It was just a special one for me. Getting so many things. Getting out to see Jamie. I guess my evolution. As someone who appreciates music, you know, expanding my listening a bit. There's so many things that you know from that. I would have to go through in order to even see what was happening through the year. It's a long year, you know. You forget videos, you forget what you've watched. So no, I would have to go back. can still hear you through the inbuilt mic. So it's all good. The inbuilt mic. Oh, custom creator OGT. This is Danny Lee. You commented on my 500 sub video, and I appreciate that. I'll never forget it. I just hit 5,000. Well, congratulations. I was talking before. I mean, I don't want to sit here and big up myself and say that I'm, Mother Teresa or anything, but I do go along. I make a point of supporting people who are coming up on YouTube. I mean, I support drummers anyway, but one of my things to do, and you should try this, if you want a New Year's, I wouldn't call this a resolution, if you want something that'll pick someone else up, but also at the same time pick you up, go along to someone who is putting in the work. Leave a nice comment, because there's plenty of a-holes out there who are gonna try and tear you down. Be that other guy or girl who goes on and says, man, good job, keep it up. I don't know, whatever the comment is, give it a like, sub if you want to subscribe. It actually does mean a lot to that person. And I do that. I'll take a few moments every now and then, and I'll just go through, I guess sort of check the pulse of what's happening on social media or YouTube. Especially if it's a young person or it's someone who perhaps doesn't have a big audience, but the video is really good. I'll tell them. I'll say, hey, you're doing great. This is a really great video. Thank you so much for the help. And that actually really does help people, because then other people because people do read the comments and they go, oh, okay, yeah, these are positive comments. Maybe perhaps more likely to watch the video, perhaps more likely to watch future videos. So thank you for noticing and for acknowledging that. Thank you so much. And I hope that you do it in return. Now that you've taken off and you've hit that 5,000 mark. I mean, on the other side of that, if there's something I don't like, or let's say the drummer isn't perhaps playing at a high level or whatever, you don't need to leave anything negative. It's that whole thing's just bizarre to me. I don't understand it. I don't watch things that I don't like. Oh wow, there's some amazing stuff here. Everybody go check out Custom Creator OGT. There's some pretty inspiring words there. Get along. All right, I think I am going to have to leave it there. It is New Year's Day. I'm a little bit tired. We were up till the early hours. Plenty of new stuff coming, plenty of different things coming this year that I'm excited about. I hope that you enjoy. We'll see what happens. I've tried a few things already that are probably not optimized for my current audience, but they're new things that I'm personally excited about. So bear with me as I try those new things. I just want to give you guys the best content possible and make it a fun place to hang out on my channel and share this love of music and drumming. But guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much. Coffee and drums. Peace out. Love you all. Happy New Year. Have a great one. Let's catch up again in the comments section of the next video. Peace.